Hi, welcome back to Joe's Nostalgia Overload. Today I'm going to talk to you about something that's very important to me. Columbo. Now, I know you whippersnappers like to talk about how great True Detective is or stuff like that. Well, guess what? Netflix has 7 seasons of Columbo, and you could probably find a way to get the rest on DVD or, alternative ways. Now, if you don't know or haven't read Wikipedia, Columbo was a series in the 70s, but then was brought back in the 80s and continued making episodes in the 90s and even in the early 2000s. And look, everybody wants to be Columbo. Hell, even Tom Brady wants to be Columbo. This one I want to talk to you is one of the later entries. It's called Death Hits the Jackpot. And Columbo gets to work with a monkey in this episode. You actually have to get this, and you have to go out of your way to get this. Because Rip Torn is dressed like this.
Enjoy your bath, baby. You got plenty of time.
Now, Your Highness, would you like me to open this bottle for you?
You bet. I'll get the glasses.
And he kills his nephew over a lottery ticket. And his nephew owned a monkey.
I told you never trust a monkey!
And Rip Torn's wife, Jason Voorhees' mother.
You've suddenly gained a very large number of new and wonderfully close friends.
You let him drown. You never paid any attention.
So anyway, we're introduced to Freddie Brower. He's going through a divorce with his wife, and that night he decides to buy a Powerball ticket, and he wins $30 million. The man has millions and a monkey. But since this guy doesn't actually want his wife, who he's going through a divorce with, to have his money, he decides that his uncle, Leon Lamar, should be the guy to cash in this winning lottery ticket.
I just won $30 million in the lottery.
Yes, I can see how that could be a problem for you, Freddie.
Well, unfortunately, Leon is going through major problems. He's just lost all his money.
I cash in the ticket.
You.
Just as if I bought it. I get the 30 million.
So Freddie goes home to see his uncle cash in the money in the bank briefcase. I mean the winning lottery ticket. And that's when one of his neighbors burst in. And honestly, only hot chicks and Kramer are allowed to burst into someone's apartment. And never mind, apparently that rule doesn't apply at Freddy's. And of course, Freddy has to raise a toast to his uncle.
To Leon, the greatest uncle the guy ever had.
To Leon!
This idiot can't be for reals. Yeah, that can't be ominous at all. Well, of course, his uncle now double-crosses him.
2 more weeks.
Well, you didn't think they were going to let me cash in that great big cardboard check you saw on TV, did you?
Really? Are you shocked? Because your branch have already said this guy's untrustworthy the minute he started talking. Unfortunately, jealousy rears its ugly head. That night, Leon and his wife have a come-dressed-as-your-favorite millionaire party. I dress as Regis. Come on. During the party, Leon sneaks out to go to see his nephew, who hasn't arrived yet at this costume party. Well, Leon ends up sneaking into Freddy's apartment.
Hey, who is this?
Oh, that's Joe.
And he knocks Freddy unconscious and drowns him in the bathtub. Then he bangs Freddy's ex-wife. Dag, dude, that's cold-blooded. And that ex-wife, she becomes an accomplice by providing a phone call to Leon, providing an alibi. Well, good thing he's dead, because he'd probably be throwing up seeing his uncle make out with his ex-wife. In fact, I might throw up in his honor.
I live just downstairs, Lieutenant. I'm a poet.
Look, he took my page.
Joey.
He lifted that page, and I never felt it. You could be a real menace in the street, baby.
Now, my thing about Columbo is, if you had a well-executed plan, doesn't it suck to have the luck of the draw where you have Columbo investigate? The other guys are like, oh, well, it looks like this, so it is?
He drowned in the tub? Yeah.
Taking a bath, slipped.
Hit his head. Yeah, happens all the time.
But if one little thing sets off Columbo, bam, he's on you, and, well, you're screwed. Man, that sucks. You get this well-executed plan, and here's Columbo ruining it for you. Like here, Columbo notices that the bathroom towels are way too dry.
You know, the washcloth was bone dry.
Yeah, well, we figure he slipped as he was reaching for the cloth, dropped it as he fell backwards.
Uh-huh. Well, could be.
And that there's a picture of a sports car with a price tag attached to it. Columbo goes into his classic cat and mouse scenario, confronting Leon and seeing what he knows about the murder.
Was that an accident?
It would appear that way, sir, yes.
What do you mean appear?
But
Tell me
we all
what
know
happened.
Columbo
I'm afraid
knows
it's very
already.
bad news, sir.
What?
Your nephew is dead. I'm very sorry.
So Columbo has this way of making you think he's just some naive, bumbling idiot and trying to be your best friend. So you don't realize that he's messing with you, man. He knows, and he's just waiting for you to slip up.
I said, hell, God, boy, we kissed each other, hugged, cried a little bit. I said, sonny boy, your daddy is the luckiest man in the world.
Well, I could second that, believe me. That's a hell of a story, believe me.
And yes, there are people during the show's history that called him on that and said, "You're smarter than you look, Columbo." I don't buy it. This guy, nah, he's an arrogant ass. He thinks he can outsmart him. He won't, but he's trying.
Listen, the reason I came here to see you was I wanted to ask you about a watch.
All right. Any particular one?
Your nephew's watch, sir.
And this watch is now going to be the uncle's downfall. The uncle had actually bought Freddie a quality watch. Well, he didn't realize that Freddie pawned it for money. And the one that was in the bathtub was the fake. And a fake can't get wet.
Well, I'm afraid, sir, my problem is not that the watch stopped working, but why you was wearing it.
Those small details, that's what gets everybody. Make it stop. Make it stop. And it's a sad day. I mean, you go to the apartment and in honor of poor Freddie, all the tenants of this building are singing, "Where have all the flowers gone?" And yet, I didn't see him. Or Bernie Sanders. All right, insert your own joke here.
L'hanno visto?
Mamma, behave yourself or no Jay Leno tonight, eh? Andiamo.
Come on, Jay Leno jokes are like Nickelback jokes. They're way too easy, and they're kind of unfair at this point. Plus, I grew up watching Leno/Conan every night, so headlines for the win, bro. But that's when Columbo notices it, because Columbo finds like the smallest detail. He could find a burn in a rug, a key in grass. You could throw something in the ocean, and Columbo would find it. This time, he notices camera settings are the same as the winning lottery numbers. Well, the uncle says that, Freddie was a dreamer. Freddie would exaggerate things, like going on a tour with Madonna.
You mean you would make things up?
Make him up. He told me he was going on tour with Madonna as our private photographer.
It wasn't true?
Made it up.
No kidding.
It's Madonna.
Well, I'll be the son of a gun.
So Columbo has to decide, was Freddie a deadbeat drunk, or did the uncle do it?
Oh, one more thing.
Oh, who am I kidding? He already knows the uncle did it.
Make this fast, sir. Freddie bought a case of champagne. I checked with the liquor stores on the same day they made the liquor call to you. Would he do that? Would he spend $520 on a case of champagne and on the same day call you up for a loan?
I mean, he can't be that smart. He's got to be speaking to somebody beyond the grave who's already telling them from the spirit world who killed who. Can you tell me who you would call? Ha! Gotcha.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I don't know. You?
No. But I do when I go to the movies.
Well, Columbo also realizes that if Freddie was supposed to go to a costume party, shouldn't he had like a costume of a millionaire? But the uncle, quick on his feet, says, hey, he would have just came in street clothes like you, Columbo.
I'm sorry, sir. Just one more thing. You said that your nephew was planning on coming to your party,
Yes, sir.
and he called just to say he was going to be a little late.
That's right.
And that was a costume party.
Well, sure, you were there.
But the uncle realizes, yeah, you know what, I gotta distance myself from this thing right now, and the ex-wife isn't helping me. So he decides he can't hang out with her anymore.
Your cute little busybody, Lieutenant Columbo, is still snooping around here and there looking for God knows what. And for a while, I suggest we try to keep our distance from one another.
Aw, poor girl. She has to go a while without making out with Rip Torn. Whatever will the hot redhead do?
In the meantime, I'm sure you know that your share is completely safe with me.
You know, I feel like I've heard that before. You know what? Just don't hand him a champagne bottle and turn around. So Columbo decides, let's see the ex-wife again and ask why she didn't sign off in divorce papers.
Why didn't you sign the divorce decree?
But the wife, she, I guess, tries to act in front of Columbo, which, don't do it. I mean, it never works out for anyone trying to be nice or helpful.
I couldn't bring myself to admit
Columbo doesn't buy it.
What was being granted was what I actually wanted.
So now we're at a party in Leon's honor. Yeah, that song's not working for me. Play something different, Mrs. Voorhees. Yeah. And Columbo shows up and says, hey, guess what? Camera settings, same as the lottery ticket number.
They're the winning lottery number.
That's right. So?
Well, you can imagine my shock when I looked down at Freddie's camera and I saw the winning lottery ticket. I mean, it was like something that happened in a dream. It was no coincidence.
It's then revealed that Freddie actually did sign off on divorce papers. Now the ex-wife is just going to try to squeeze more money out of Leon.
And I'm afraid I don't know any delicate way to approach it.
What news, Lieutenant?
It's about your husband.
What is it, Lieutenant? I don't understand. I mean, what could be worse than the news that he was dead?
Columbo then reveals that, you know what, Freddie was murdered, guys.
The fact that he was murdered.
So Columbo goes to an auction to confront
May I have a bid
Leon.
of I have $450,000 from the gentleman in the raincoat.
You're not bidding, are you?
But in true Columbo fashion, he accidentally bids on an item.
He's not bidding. Were you bidding?
Bidding?
He wasn't bidding.
Were you bidding, sir?
Bidding?
You
No, I
wave, sir. You mustn't wave your catalog.
Even people who aren't getting investigated by Columbo get annoyed by him.
I think it was murder.
Murder? What the hell are you talking about, man?
Whoever killed him, sir, they knocked him unconscious first, then they undressed him. Then they dropped him into the tub.
Well, that just sounds like a typical date night for me.
Well, I would appreciate an answer.
Well, you know the answer. Why are you asking the question?
Oh, I don't know the answer.
Well, what are you trying to do? Irritate me on purpose? Is that it?
No.
Well, that is what Columbo does. I mean, I took his seminar, and I majored in irritation and minored in just one more thinging. So since Columbo's able to figure out the smallest details, in the lobby, when he's talking to Leon, he says that Leon's costume of King George had jewelry on it, and the monkey at the apartment likes to grab jewelry.
That's not your fingerprint. That's the chimp's. And I didn't find that fingerprint on Freddie's doorknob. And I didn't find it on his refrigerator. And I didn't find it on his sink. But on this medallion, which was hanging around your neck. We know the chimp was in the studio on the night of the murder. Now we know you were there. What do these things have in common? They're all shiny.
Bam! Columbo wins again. That monkey totally grabbed the medallion. Well, at this point, the ex-wife shows up, and since her and Leon aren't getting along, she wants her inheritance.
Mr. Lamar here is going to be arrested for the murder of your husband.
Oh, my God. And what's the good news?
That you've just inherited the better part of $24 million after taxes.
What?
It wasn't Mr. Lamar who won the lottery. It was your late husband. And even though you're in the process of getting a divorce, you were still legally married at the time of the drawing.
Well, guess what? Leon's like, I'm going to jail. You're going to jail because you were my alibi.
I'm going to show you some cooperation. Who do you think it was pretended to be Freddie calling me from the studio that night? His own darling wife. His dear, sweet widow here trying to scratch my eyes out. You wish I was as dead as Freddie, don't you?
How much I hate you, Leon. I hate you more than your wife is going to hate you. That's how much I hate you.
That's what Columbo wanted. Busted them both.
Leon!
Columbo wins. Columbo always wins. He's John Cena, basically, because their time is up. His time is now.
Just one more thing. Just one more thing. Just one more thing. Just one more thing.
Your time is up, my time is now.